Welcome back to the Project Management Nation, where we talk about all things project. So we've been doing some really exciting things with ChatGPT. That's an artificial intelligence tool that is been making the news. We've looked at it in what it can do for project management in a lot of different ways. In today's video, we are going to talk about and look at what it does for Agile story pointing. We did a video on story creation. Can it take us to the next step with story pointing, and can it calculate velocity? Stay tuned to see what it says. Please like and subscribe. Our ChatGPT screen. It's not a fresh, clean screen because we're picking up where we left off from a prior video where we had asked ChatGPT to create user stories. I gave it 5 tasks and it created 3 user stories for each one. You'll have to watch that video to see how well it did on that. But I asked it to calculate story points for the stories above. So let's see what it said. As an AI language model, I cannot assign story points as it is a relative measure that depends on the team's velocity, experience, and complexity of the project. Okay, so that's an absolutely fair answer. It did not have enough information to calculate story points. But that's what happens when I say, please estimate story points for the stories above. So I went from kind of commanding it to calculate to asking it to estimate. Let's see what it did. As an AI language model, I cannot provide precise estimation for story points since they depend on various factors, including team experience, velocity, complexity of project. However, here is a rough estimation. So it actually went through, and for each task and each user story, it assigned story points. Now, I did a little spot checking. I don't think that they're especially realistic, but the fact that it will take educated guesses about story points is pretty amazing. We've also seen that it has a great capacity to change and alter these its answers based on new information. So if we were to provide additional context, it would probably do a better estimation for us. So I thought that that was a fascinating thing to learn, and it did it across all 5 tasks and all 3 user stories with all of those. Then I went through and I said, given the story points above, and a 2-week sprint cycle with 4 team members, what is the velocity? So I knew I would have to give it some additional parameters, but I wanted to see if it could calculate velocity. So let's see what it says. To calculate the velocity of a team, we need to know how many story points the team can complete in a sprint cycle. We can estimate the velocity by adding the story points completed and the previous sprints and dividing the number of sprints. So assuming the team member completes the estimated story points for each user in the previous response, the total estimated story points for all users would be. So it said, okay, I'm going to take these as what the team can do. Here is the velocity, and it gave the team, it said the total story points for all user stories is 54, and each team member can do 6.75 story points per team member per sprint. And that gives us approximately a 27 story point per sprint velocity. Now, that's assumption built on assumption built on assumption. But look how powerful that is. You can give it just basic parameters, and it can start to do calculations. Imagine giving it your real data and what it could do for you. Or if you're unsure of how to calculate velocity or have questions around it, this tool has some really amazing capacities to help with our projects. Again, I think this ChatGPT makes a fantastic project assistant. And in its current form, it's not going to be replacing us, but it should be helping us. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Thank you.